It is overrated. Like, there's not much to do. If you want to go to the beach, just get a pool and put some sand in the bottom. I mean, you have yourself a homemade beach. Like,
Yeah, honestly, true. Did you just make your own beach?
Apparently we're having an issue with sound.
A sound issue. Like you can't. Like people can't hear us.
Is it there now?
Now it is.
Okay.
Hello. Are we being heard now?
Now you can be heard apparently. So.
do I have to reset
Okay.
everything?
Oh,
Hello?
no.
So, hi. I don't know how far back.
Wait, what?
Just now, whenever
So-
Silas was talking about the beach.
Okay. So real quick. Hi. I don't know how far back you couldn't hear. Hi. What's up? We're here. All Boys Podcast.
We the boys.
Yes. And I'm Michael.
Enrique.
Silas.
Dylan?
Dylan. All right. Cool. That's our introductions out of the way again. Dylan, could you give us a brief recap again on how you got here?
Yeah. I love this story, guys.
I love this story.
I walked 8 hours.
You walked 8 hours here. Or to Taco Bell.
To
and then-
Taco Bell.
We brought you here. We didn't make you walk here.
If
But-
you need a ride, though, we are open for it.
Okay, now that we're caught up, right? Oh, and it was going to the beach. Overrated, underrated. I said overrated.
Underrated.
And I said overrated. Yeah.
Overrated.
All right.
Why didn't?
What?
Oh, you already said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope
And
mine
people
was.
could hear that, right? People could hear Dylan saying. Why,
I
right?
think so.
I hope mine was heard because I gave a good reason about my problem with sand.
Yeah.
Me too.
Your
Wait, I
problem
think they
with-
said that it was cut off when you started
When-
talking.
Oh.
Or no, like it cut off when he started talking, or it came back when he started.
No, it wasn't working up until that point.
Oh,
Okay.
thank goodness.
Okay, so your reasons should be there, or at least me saying okay, Anakin Skywalker.
But yeah, I don't like sand because it's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
All right.
All right. Next, underrated, overrated.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Pie, like the dessert.
Pie.
Hi?
Underrated, yeah.
Hi?
No,
Pie.
No, pie as in like.
Okay.
P-I-E.
Like
Okay.
Is it underrated or overrated?
What's the flavor of pie?
Oh yeah, that's.
Just pie in general.
Underrated.
why?
Why? Because pie's so much better than cake.
That is cap.
Oh my goodness.
Unless it's with ice cream, then that's a whole different story.
You eat ice cream on pie, you monster.
What do you mean, you monster? That's the best way to enjoy it.
No.
If you have like a warm pie that came fresh out of the oven.
Michael gets it.
Have
That
you ever
ice
had
cream.
cheese pie?
So, Michael, you're
No.
saying underrated or overrated?
Oh, I'm saying underrated. I feel like too much of pie gets lumped in with like a couple flavors, like pumpkin pie, where people are like, I don't really like it. But then there's stuff like apple pie and like some of the
apple
berry
pie.
pies, like that are. I mean, everybody knows apple pie, but some of the berry pies that are like really, really good, but everybody thinks of pie and they're like, oh, pecan pie or something. And I like pecan pie for the record, but like. They think of it and they're like, oh, but then there's like all these other flavors that are never explored, Sorry, that was my pie rant.
Oh.
Okay. I think it's underrated because in the end of it all, desserts are amazing. And so especially for me who has a sweet tooth, I just enjoy anything sweet and tasty. Apple pie is the best pie.
That's true. I will agree with that.
All right. So though I do like pie, I think it's overrated.
Okay, contrarian.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just
Just
kidding.
too much sugar. It's
Too
just
much sugar.
Yeah.
You've never just eaten icing.
Okay, I saw you at
Dessert
one
you
cafe.
like?
What?
What's your favorite dessert then?
Just a filling.
Fruits,
Fruits.
Just-
Okay.
You
So
literally.
we get it.
So
You're
I was
theology
right. Just the
major.
filling.
You gotta follow the health
you drank
message.
you drank 50 root beer floats at that
It was
one cafe.
actually 10.
Still though, that's a lot. Like
And that's not too much sugar, but pie is.
No. Pie, yeah. Too much
that
sugar
is a
on pie.
lot of sugar. 10 root beer floats.
But that's a drink. I don't have to be chewing on that.
I want the pie you're eating if it's too sweet.
Honestly, say but sweeter the
Honestly,
better.
Like most pies, I would say would classify as being like a less sweet
Yeah. Like
because it has like the fruit filling.
Yeah.
Whereas like a cake is like the
it's
sweet
like
and then, like,
whipped
all-
sugar. Yeah.
That's legit all it is. It's just sugar made into a solid.
Yeah. Essentially.
All right, and the last one, anime. Underrated or overrated? No fist fights at the end.
Okay,
We all
yeah.
have our own opinion.
Wait, were these the same ones you asked of the girls?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm curious to see what.
Oh.
Especially
You should-
knowing the cast.
You should
yeah.
know that he had to look
Wait,
on
who
his
was the
phone
guest?
for last week's podcast.
Oh man, I'm afraid to look at that one.
Who was the cast?
It was. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that on here. Who's
Yeah,
last
you can
week?
say who's
Yeah,
last
so it was Madison,
Which one?
Solali, and
Elias.
Brianna. Yeah, Elias.
Just them?
Yeah,
Yeah, just-
Oh wow.
Wait, I think Madison likes anime. I think.
yeah. I know Solali
Yeah,
does.
just don't tell her mom.
Okay.
She's not watching this right now, is she?
Snitches.
But she told on herself last week, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Podcast getting interesting. Just kidding. Okay, who wants to start?
It's overrated. I said it. It's overrated.
I was gonna go with you on that one. Yeah, I was gonna follow you.
I have
Alright,
many
go on.
different opinions.
No, I say it's overrated, just because like you have your, I feel like your normal watcher who watches it and enjoys it, and in which case like I would say it's finely rated. But then you have the fandom, the super fandom people, like the My Hero people, the like you have those people that are like die hard. Everything in their life is about that, even at the sacrifice of social skills, and that's way too overrated.
Yeah.
Like, no show is that good. Not even Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Or Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Darling in the Franks.
Okay.
High School DxD.
Oh no. Well, that'll make you sacrifice social skills for sure. But all right.
I'm
What are you
gonna say
next?
this, and I'm gonna mean it. Naruto is awful and it's so overrated.
I won't say awful, but yeah, it is overrated.
You just shot him in the
I
chest.
figured, but I had to say it. I tried to watch like one whole season, couldn't get through it because like.
Okay, did you
it's
watch
so
the
awful.
filler?
I tried.
Okay, skip the filler. The filler is horrible.
Yeah, honestly.
I would say pick like one arc, watch it without the filler, because I like the core show that's based on the manga, but I can't watch the filler. I watched 7 episodes of the filler total, and I regret watching those 7 episodes.
But there's one that I am a complete, like, almost fandom for.
He's a My Hero fan.
Dragon
No,
Ball Z.
I can't miss a Pokemon episode for my life.
That's that's a classic. You know what? I respect it.
That one's not one you hear every day.
Well, like,
Pokemon. I always kind of forget that's an option, because I always watched it on
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, and I was like,
It's on
Yeah.
Disney XD.
Did you
and
never-
then
Really?
and then it
Uh-huh.
was, and then now Netflix.
oh yeah.
It was on Disney XD at one
but the
point.
reason
though.
it's so attached to me is that was my first ever, like, video game was Pokemon Red. So it was like, oh, I
So-
get away from my family.
Okay, so anime as a whole, over or underrated?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Just both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I could go into so much detail with this, but honestly, I have to say a little underrated, because I know you, Michael, mentioned like how people get so fixated on it that they lose social skills or whatever, but
Yeah.
in a way you could kind of say that about like real life shows like Riverdale or whatever, because there's people like that too.
Supernatural.
Or Oh
If
gosh.
you look hard enough, yeah.
But yeah, underrated. Plus, the shows are so good. The Japanese culture, the story, the animation, the characters,
The video games.
the video games, and
Well, okay, let's not get too far.
and honestly,
The games
what,
aren't that
what makes it great is people didn't give it a chance. I did, and I watched it before it became mainstream and hype. I even got picked on and bullied for that. And guess what? Some of the people that bullied and made fun of me for that and now watch anime just because of the hype and that's mainstream now. So
Okay, before the hype, he was in on it before you guys were. No, just kidding.
like Dragon Ball Z, so good. Yu Yu Hakusho, High School DxD, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
He is the OG Krillin.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, I'm rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh and it's so good.
Overrated.
Okay.
You gotta say
Hey,
Pokemon
do we
next,
have
but
to-
I'm leaving
hey,
that out.
Next question.
Yeah. But yeah, underrated.
Did you want to plug?
So that was fun. Let's get on to like. Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna jump in. So the first question is, what gender is better, and why?
Oh my god. Great way to start. Great way.
We'll just ease in with nice.
And remember, we're staying positive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're staying positive.
Yep.
I am positive, but I'm just doing it in an honest
Guys,
way.
remember, we're not just making videos.
Just don't be.
Don't
Remember,
be
we're not
Dylan.
just making videos. We're changing lives.
Yes.
Okay, when did we become Darman?
Right now.
We're Darman now?
Focus, guys.
Okay.
Please
Focus,
like and
better.
subscribe.
Okay. I don't know. I gotta think about this one.
I don't.
Okay, go Dylan.
I'm
Dylan,
gonna
go.
say men for. Okay. I know.
This is why we brought on Dylan.
I know this is how. I know how
This
it
is why we
sounds.
had him walk 8 hours.
But like, I have a logical reason too.
Okay.
In the 1800s,
Oh my god.
back in the days of the Indians, men were the ones who like always went out and did the hunting. So we have those natural skills already within us, just in case we have to go back to our primal state. And also we. Don't worry, it gets better.
Oh no.
Now-
Define better.
Now men actually are defined of having better jobs, so we can bring in more income to help our family members more than like with the income problem. So, I'm sorry.
Okay, who's next?
You are Michael. Go ahead.
Me? I'm next. Oh man, I don't know.
What is it, Michael? Think wisely.
Ah, I don't know.
Your girlfriend is watching.
I know. I'm just kidding. That's not my entire reason for stalling so hard. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Your mom is watching.
Yes, I know that.
So is mine.
Nice.
No,
I
no
don't
one
know.
in my
Can you come
life's
back to
watching.
me? I don't know. I gotta think about it.
Enrique, you're in shot. Go. Mr. President.
Is Eileen watching?
No, she's probably not watching. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. I don't know. Silas, you're next.
Oh my gosh.
Coming full
So
circle.
we have to pick one or the other.
The two guys with girlfriends are saying, I'll pass.
Okay.
Or I'm assuming.
Do-
What?
I don't know. Unless
I might have a secret one.
Okay. Ah, man, I don't. So, I'd like to not choose one or the other, but at the same time, if we have to, then I'm gonna get canceled for this. Dudes are better than girls. I have to try.
why?
A little bit off what he said, but
Which one?
Yes.
The Indian
Yeah.
part or the income part?
yes, but mostly the income part. But at the same time, I mean, not gonna lie, we do need the help of women because sometimes guys could be stupid. I'm not, or
Sometimes.
Oh wait, I thought of an
like,
answer.
Me too.
like, okay,
Wait a minute.
Okay, I was gonna just fully go with like Dylan's side, but now that I'm talking more about this, it's like a mix of both, but maybe a little more on women because girls kind of saved my life like a year ago. Because fun fact, aluminum foil doesn't belong in a microwave.
That-
And so I nearly burned my workplace to a crisp, and this girl that I know from security had to save me. I streamed, which is how she knew, but it was a manly stream, and
of course.
Define manly.
like "Ugh," or whatever. And
Barbarian?
so you know, guys are good and strong and like good at making money and stuff, can hunt, but at the same time they got more common sense and can cook. And
Uh-oh.
so yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna say guys are better because girls have cooties.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
probably the best justification.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
girls-
the best. That's the
Girls
best
have cooties,
reason.
and cooties are kind of gross.
I would like to change my answer.
Yeah, you know what?
Fine.
I'd like to change my answer to. Yeah, girls have
Alright.
cooties.
All right. So besides
I like that one.
like physical differences, right? We're not talking about anatomy here.
Enrique
Yeah.
didn't even
All
answer.
right. Okay. We'll,
I mean,
we'll
okay.
Give him a pass this time.
Okay.
He'll answer first in this next one.
Oh, wow.
Besides physical differences, right? So we're not talking about anatomy here. What is the main difference between males and females?
Their way of thinking. We are more simple-minded, while women like to think a lot. Unlike me, I don't think that much.
I'm just reckless with everything I do, and I'm stubborn. So yeah, honestly, I have to agree with Enrique in this one.
Wait, what was his answer?
It was that men are like more simple, straightforward,
Okay.
and girls are
I mean, when I was
more complex.
I mean, I was the kid when I was like 5 that kept putting my hand on the stove when it was hot, and I would keep doing it just because I wanted to believe that it wouldn't hurt me, and so I was like, I won't give up. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably Enrique. I think he hit it on the head.
Spitting facts, honestly.
Like, if we're talking main difference, yes, I do believe it is in the way that guys and girls think. And I mean, there has been, like, research that proves such, if I'm not mistaken, that, and, yeah. I mean, I'm not a girl, so I can't really say how they think, but for me, a guy, when I'm thinking about something, like, it's normally pretty, like, straightforward. I mean, sometimes there's like random stuff that I don't know. I think like a child, and I think a lot of guys thinking is simplistic and can almost be thought of as thinking like a child. Yeah, you laughed.
I'm gonna have to say it's the way they do a certain task. Like, I know some people, like me, I'm get through it as soon as I can. It'll get done either way. But I know, like, my sister is like, I'm gonna do this certain thing. I'm gonna do these certain steps. I'm gonna get done perfectly on this perfect time, and it's gonna be exactly perfect.
Oh, gosh,
like-
I forgot she was like that.
So like perfectionism.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I feel like more girls are a perfectionist than most men are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, I'd kind of like, if it's good enough, it's good enough.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on it.
For me, if it's like if I get the A or I get the grade, then that's good enough for
Hey,
me. Yeah.
Bees get degrees, as they say.
All right. So question number 3: what gender can handle more pain?
Oh, there's a joke. Okay, there's a joke that I love on this one. Okay, I put a disclaimer that this is a joke, but you see a girl get pregnant, and then you'll hear her say later, "Let's have another one." But you never see a guy get kicked in the balls and say, "Let's do it again."
Wait, I saw that on a TikTok.
You
Yeah.
never see a man after getting a kidney stone say, "Let me drink
Oh,
a
that's
12
true.
pack of Coke."
That's true. On a pain index, technically, I believe. Okay, don't quote me on this. I'm not 100% on my facts, but on a pain index, I think that a guy's kidney stone is technically more painful than child.
Well,
I could be wrong. Fact check me on that. But if not, a guy's kidney stone either way is 3 times more painful than a girl's because it has 3 times the urinary tract it has to travel than a girl's.
oh, my ringer's on. It doesn't matter.
So
But I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. Honestly, I think I would say girls because, like, yes, we always look at like childbirth and kidney stones and compare the big things, but like girls, like they go through like periods and they have period cramps like once a month. Or if like guys, like if I had a cramp once a month, I mean, gosh, I would be a total wreck. But you know, like Enrique's just nodding.
Like, I wanna
That sounds good.
Okay,
What
so
was
a
the
kidney,
question?
a kidney stone is supposed, on a 1 to 10, most doctors say it's about a 12 compared to childbirth, which is a 10.
Really interesting. So I was right. But
according to the random fact
according
that you
to
found on
this unknown
According
Google
to
source,
Wikipedia here.
according to WikiHow on how to be the most pain tolerant. Any other thoughts on that one? On who can tolerate the most pain?
Yeah, which gender can tolerate the most pain?
Yeah, I think
Hear
it's
me out.
women.
Once again, I'm gonna say men can, because over the years of a man's life, he learns to channel all of his pain into getting a task done, into not really feeling the mental pain anymore. Like, how can I say this in a better way?
In a positive way.
In a men can hide their emotions, as most girls, I believe, cannot.
So men can take more
Emotional.
mental and emotional
Mhm.
strain. That's interesting. Yeah. Honestly, I would say that's. Well, I'm not going to necessarily say that's 100% true, but I do agree with where you're coming from. Is that a lot of guys, whenever they're not even necessarily like when they're brought up, but I think there is a almost unspoken expectation on guys that you don't talk about it.
Mhm.
You know, you just kind of keep it inside, and that
Yeah.
kind of builds a callous for yourself. Yeah. So I see what
And you're
saying.
able to block most of that emotional pain. Just go like through life doing, I don't care what they think. I'm just gonna go through the next day.
Yeah, even if it does come back to bite you later. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of guys can go through like 30, 40 years without ever addressing it. So
Which actually kind of brings us to our next question, unless someone has another comment to make on that.
Silas?
Do
I'm just kidding.
you want to comment on the, what was it?
The
On
pain tolerance.
Pain tolerance.
No comment.
Okay. So then number 4 is what gender is more stereotyped, and then you guys could talk about like maybe what some of those stereotypes are.
Mr. President?
What are your thoughts on this topic?
What was the question?
What gender is more stereotyped, and what are those stereotypes?
Oh no, I know exactly what's going through your head. Don't give in.
No, let the dark side
Deep
take
breath.
over.
It's like 2 angels on his shoulder.
An angel on the-
Embrace the darkness.
No, don't do it.
Embrace
Don't
the
eat Taco
darkness.
Bell.
What would Jesus do?
He'd walk to
What would the
Theology major.
what would the real you do?
8-hour walk to Taco Bell.
He'd pick me up in a chariot.
Wait, what's the question?
Oh my gosh, which gender is more stereotyped?
And what are those stereotypes?
Does someone else need to help out the president?
Can I not say the stereotypes? But I'll say it.
Which one do you think is more stereotyped?
I think it's women.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so? Someone else could help him out.
No comment.
I know what he's thinking, and there's a reason. We're staying positive this podcast, Mr.
Exactly.
Curry.
We're saying positive. Love, positive,
Well,
peace.
I
They're
honestly-
stereotypes, right? Which means that they're not always true.
Yes.
So what? And by stating them, you're not saying that you agree with
Well-
them, but just on the stereotypes that are out there.
All right. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm ready.
There's the classic dishwasher.
Which I don't even know if that's like a stereotype. I feel like that's more of like a joke, you know.
Well,
And the sandwich maker.
clothes
So the housewife,
washer.
essentially.
Basically.
That a woman. So the stereotype would be that a woman is a housewife.
Exactly.
Don't forget trophy wife.
Yeah.
Is that a stereotype?
A trophy wife. I feel
It's
like
above the
I feel like
Isn't that
it
just
all
like
fall.
someone marrying them because they're beautiful, just
Yeah.
so you can have a trophy wife.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it all falls into like there's ultimately I feel like there's a stereotype of the housewife and then the worker guy or whatever. I don't know how you're supposed to like phrase that.
Breadwinner.
Yeah, the breadwinner
Huh?
guy, like the guy who goes and works. Like I feel like there's those
Oh.
stereotypes
There's like
and
a homemaker and a breadwinner.
I call those mud runners.
okay.
Okay.
So in Dylan's case, mud runners. You know, I feel like there's those two stereotypes that exist, but which one stereotype more? Women? Why do you say women? Because you have a bunch of different names that you can call them.
No, it's like, I don't know. I think women are just stereotyped more, especially by women. Like, if a housewife meets a trophy wife, they're immediately going to be like,
Oh, you're such a trophy wife. You're such a housewife. Oh, go vacuum the frickin' floor.
like,
What?
like,
Dylan, we're positive here.
that was positive.
Let the darkness take over. Embrace
no,
it.
don't. He's too close to you.
But yeah,
Silas?
Oh, me. How does the question?
That is a
Which one do you think is stereotypes more, and what are those stereotypes?
Stereotype more.
Stop banging on your mic.
Oh, right.
what is Donald Trump for 200?
Wait, it's flickering the light bulb, but it's almost on.
Wait, do we get bathroom breaks?
Should have gone before.
We literally told you as soon as
We
you
were
went to
in the
podcast.
restroom at the exact same time, right
I
before the
know.
show.
I know.
I know. Okay.
I mean, we don't want pee on our floor, so if it's
I-
just a stereotype.
I would just use this
I guess.
So Faith better be glad she's not on today's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
With Mr. Siri, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Women.
Mm.
And why? What are the stereotypes?
Dishwasher. Cook. Laundry woman.
So like housewife.
Yeah.
So what you're saying essentially is that there's more stereotypes attached to saying a woman is a housewife
Or-
more than a man is a
Or non-independent and always in need of saving.
So a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Hercules, Hercules.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's really hard to say, and I would almost argue to say men, but just in the way that recently in society there's been such a push to kind of remove those stereotypes from women.
Yeah.
And so if we're talking about like historically, like over all of human history, yes, I would say women easily. But if we're talking about today, I feel like that gives me a different answer because there is such a push, for like that, for the strong independent woman. And I'm not saying it's bad in any way.
Yeah.
But there is that push for the strong independent woman, for women to be more than just housewives, for all of this stuff. And I think that, well, yes, I do believe that there has been some of that stuff going on for men. The women have taken center stage in that. So that's...
So then, maybe just real quick, what are some of the stereotypes that men get then? If you're going with men being more stereotyped.
A couch potato.
that's just, I think that's just for...
Someone who only cares about looks. Like in a
Shallow.
girl. Like, yeah.
Shallow, yeah. I can see that one.
Because I know there's some, like myself, that care about personality more than like looks.
Mm.
It'd be like scum or like, what is that? A player, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nasty and not hygienic.
Yeah, or like less hygienic. And there's also the stereotype, I feel like, of like macho. Or like that, men have this big masculinity chip on their shoulder that they're
Their
having
ego.
yeah, that men have a huge masculine ego
Oh, yeah.
or
yeah.
whatever, or like, that they're into, which I mean, it's not so strong now, but I feel like there is that thing of like men are, that they feel like there's the stereotype that men have a chip on their shoulder.
I remember there used to be a thing whenever I was in college that if you did something unmanly, then it would be like, hand in your man card. Like if you did, like if you were doing dishes or something, it'd be like, oh, you gotta hand in your card, hand in your man card, right? Or like
I
if you
lost
did
mine.
something like pretty girly or something. It's just kind of like a joke.
If
of,
that's
like,
the case, I
making
lost
fun of
mine a
each
long
other.
time ago. No, I'm just kidding. But,
Yeah, okay. What gender has the most anger issues?
men,
Men.
in my mind, that's not even... Okay, actually, I will say, if we're talking about known and expressed anger issues, I would definitely say men. But it is hard to tell since I don't know everybody's like psyche and inner thoughts, But I would say, as expressed anger issues and more, I guess, problematically or harmfully expressed anger issues, I would say men.
Actually, woman.
I actually agree with Enrique on this one.
Because we see in the classroom, I'm not going to say names. But we
Oh
see,
my God.
No, I'm not going to say names.
I know what you're
But
talking about.
we see in the classroom, we see a big difference between the guys and the girls.
Mm.
Like you barely hear like noise from the guys.
Then if you do, it's laughing.
Yeah, it's just laughing. But then there's the girls, which are like they always mad about something, complaining. Wait, we're positive. Just kidding. You did not hear that. We're positive.
Yeah, positivity.
Go girls.
Although I do definitely see your point. I do think, yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I feel like when I hear that question, in my mind, I think of more damage done when anger is expressed. Because if we think back to the situation that was redacted retroactively, a lot of that, like the complaining and all of that stuff, like that ultimately doesn't really do much harm. Like maybe it's a little annoying, but then again, but I mean, like at the end of the day, it doesn't do much harm. But if a guy who has anger problems gets pushed to his breaking limit, that's
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. There's things might get physical, and that gets really scary.
Mm.
Okay. Dylan, you haven't commented on this.
There's a reason for that.
Would you like to keep it that way?
Once again, I'm gonna say women
Okay.
because I believe I've seen more instances where women take their anger out to another level of like just not like beating someone up like a guy does, but like ruining like half their life. Like
Interesting.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but like they might be able to take their job, take their boyfriend. Us guys, we can't easily do that.
Yeah.
Usually
More like
when
malicious,
yeah,
like
But that probably
conniving.
that almost ties back to what we were talking about earlier, which is like the simple versus complex minded. As guys, we get angry. We want to.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly. But for girls, it might be a little more different. It's like get angry and okay, maybe I can't punch him, but maybe there's other ways I could get out. Like I don't know. And obviously, this is all speculation since I'm not a girl. But
Mm.
Same.
really, okay, because this is an all boys podcast,
Yeah.
I just fingers crossed we don't have any girls infiltrating our podcast.
Crisscross applesauce.
No,
All
Wait,
right.
baby, hold up.
I'm just
So-
kidding. Did you look under the
Any
table?
more comments on that
Somebody
before we
else.
move on to the next question?
What?
Any more comments on this before we move to the next question?
No.
I think everybody answered now. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit more into relationships here for a second. Do
That's my questions
guys
for Michael.
care
And you, what are you
more
talking about?
about looks or personality?
Wait, repeat that
Do
again. Sorry.
guys care more about looks or personality?
Personality.
Mm.
I mean, okay. Here's my answer. I feel like it's looks at first. Looks is what catches our attention.
Mhm.
But then, like, a guy wouldn't be inclined to stay with a girl if he didn't like her personality.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like,
'Cause-
like if you think about it, like this may sound really mean, but if there's a girl who's super sweet, super nice, super caring, all of that stuff, but you cannot stand to look at her, are you going to date her?
No.
One I lose.
While she may have everything you want in a wife, she doesn't have the looks. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I think it was that one Spanish pastor, Mr. Prieto. I think?
Prieto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was he came to our chapel one time and he was talking about relationships and he was like, "What's the first thing you notice in a woman?"
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, how they treat other people." Or all the guys were like,
Their
"Oh, how they treat other
personality.
people, their personality."
For one honest guy. their
And
face.
then, oh no, and then he was like, "You guys are lying. It's their looks." And he was like,
Mhm.
"If you think of it, like, ask yourself this: if you marry a girl, and you wake up next to her, and you every morning think, 'Oh my gosh, she is ugly,' are you going to be happy in that marriage?
No.
But what if,
Most likely not.
being dead serious, does true love have to do with the looks of the other person?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Then
But
should it really matter?
no, I don't think it should really matter. But like, I don't know. Like, I totally get what you're saying, but at the same time, like, if you had the love of your life, but this,
But she had a lazy eye going one way.
well, not even that, but like, I don't know, but like, you couldn't stand to look at her. Like, then all of a sudden, is that like, and I feel like in my mind, taking a more Christian standpoint on this, God has, laid out somebody. You can stop me at any point if I start to get like sacrilegious bringing God into it. But I feel like God has a plan for every one of us, and God has somebody who He has destined us to be with, right? And He's not going to have that. He's going to have us like to look at that person. Correct? Like, is that fair to say? Like, if God, it just seems kind of weird. Like, if you gave somebody a poster on their wall that represented everything they ever loved, but they hated the way it looked.
Madison Beer.
Oh my god. But you hated the way it looked, would you want to put that up on your wall? But you have to walk into your room every day and say, "Gosh, that is an ugly poster." I sound like such a bad guy right now. I'm sorry. I really,
Like, was a bad
personality
day.
is most important. I got to say that.
It's
I'm going to say that. Personality is most important. Looks are good too, but personality is most important, and I'm done.
This theme is just changes a person. It's just like a dark cloud.
I know.
Silas, you start off saying personality.
Yeah, I
Elaborate a little
still
more.
stand by personality because, I mean, yeah, looks can be good, but times have changed, and I guess when you're younger, you might think, oh wow, this person's hot, or wow, this person's pretty, or whatever. But then when you get older, you start to kind of think, okay, there's more than that. There's more than looks in life. There's personality and like what kind of person they are on the inside. And so, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of guys, especially with how dating is nowadays, that just would prefer personality and one that would treat them kindly as the guy would the girl. That's just my take on it. Like the last girl I liked and still like currently, I liked her because of her kind, sweet personality, and I think she's one of the nicest people I know in my life. So yeah, definitely personality. I think that matters most in like just any person in general.
If you want, we can send a link to her after this if you want. Let me know her number.
Who was she?
I feel the need to defend myself. I thought of a simple way to say it. Looks create attraction, but personality and connection create love. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
I will take this correction.
It's acceptable, yes.
I wasn't like trying to make that counter offer like
Well,
to
I-
harm your
I
thing, by
know,
the way.
But now I just feel like I just dug my hole really deep, and I need to
And
like
I
get
just-
out and like.
And I just helped you dig it deeper.
I know you just gave me a bigger shovel. and
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
like,
Michael, good luck.
thank you.
Enrique, you've been awkwardly silent in this.
It's because I've been concentrating on not letting go of something right now. Like a liquid.
Do you need to go?
Peace
Yeah.
out, my boy.
Okay, step out for a little bit.
All right, I'll be back, guys. Sorry.
We will return after these short messages.
Except there are no short messages.
It's just us.
All right.
And we're just gonna.
Think about your perfect date while you're going. Oh, wow. Okay, that's what
Oh.
we're going to now. And just for a heads up, the girls answered this question a couple weeks ago. So if you need some ideas, Michael, you can go back and watch that one. So we just want to know what is.
I'm gonna feel like such a failure
like,
when I go back
perfect
and
date.
watch
Now,
that one.
Whenever I say perfect date, like keep it like actually possible.
I wanna go to
because you'd be like,
Mars.
right. Yeah. I want.
That's
to,
actually possible
I want
now,
to
though.
fly to Paris and spend blah blah blah. Like, it is possible, but it's not like feasible. You know what I mean? Like, it's more fun to think about something that's like, hey, what would you if you're gonna take, like, if you could plan your perfect day, like, what would that involve?
Fly me to the moon.
All right.
Yeah.
Dylan, you go first.
Okay. See, I'm different than most people. Because
What?
if that wasn't obvious, that was quick, man.
Did you wash your hands?
Did you
You're
drive
better.
him?
No.
But anyway,
Right, I'm back.
I
What did
wanna-
miss?
No.
Dylan's starting
Perfect
with
date or whatever.
yeah.
idea.
Oh,
That's
Every-
feasible.
Every time I think
that's
of
what?
Feasible. So it's not like we go to Paris and then we
Oh,
go to
okay.
I almost said we go to Paris and then we go to France. Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
All right, go
Okay.
back to Dylan.
Okay. So, my view of a perfect date, for some reason, every time I think of the perfect date, always starts with us taking our AR-15s apart and cleaning them so we can go hunting the very next day. So it's basically like a two-part. Like, first night, we're going to do some practice shooting, like a gun range or something, maybe shoot each other's guns. Then we're going to take them apart and clean them, right?
Okay.
Very next day, two-parter. I'm special. Next day, it's like a little bit of like, how do I say this? Maybe eat some steak. See how she likes it, just in case we stay together, so I can figure out how to make the steak.
Can't go wrong with medium rare.
Just rare.
Oh, rare.
You are an animal.
Whoa, okay. The redder the better, I guess.
Continue.
Let him finish. Let him
Oh,
finish.
yeah.
But then it's, I can't. See, I don't want to go into the rest of it, because I thought this out into parts, and it's gonna take me like 20 minutes to explain
Okay,
this
so
whole thing.
summarize the last part as much as you can, as fast as you can.
The last part is basically a smallish barbecue.
Okay.
Here's where it gets a little different. Both our parents are there.
Oh,
Perfect date. We get to meet each other's family, except we go into different sections. So I'm just with hers, and she's just with mine.
Mm.
Okay.
So you're setting up. That's like you're
I'm-
setting up the long term. Okay.
that is bold, but I respect it.
That's pretty admirable,
yeah.
though. Like wanting to get to know her family and stuff.
Mm.
Like on the first meetup. Yeah. I respect that. That's actually I don't hear that ever.
Mm.
And nobody's like, "Oh, my perfect date. I want to meet their parents and make sure we get along." You know, like.
Like I said, I'm special.
But okay, you next.
I'm kind of basic and stuff, so I'd say movies and dinner.
He did that with my sister.
But yeah, movies and dinner.
Whoa, really?
Awkward moment there.
Yeah.
The Lego movie.
Continuing. Sorry.
Movies and dinner, okay?
Movies and dinner. Continue.
Yeah. Movies and dinner. Yeah. Yeah. Preferably movie, and then you can get. Oh my.
Focus, guys.
Yeah. Then you can get dinner after, and just so you can like talk about it and all that good stuff, and then. Oh, my confidence is shaken right now.
God.
But yeah.
I apologize on behalf of Dylan. who
But
can't see
yeah,
anything.
movies and dinner, because I mean it's basic, but it works. You have a movie you can enjoy together. You can talk about the movie, and then from there get to know each other. So you
Find
kind
a
of
common interest in the movie and
you have a lot more to talk about while eating some bussin' food like at Red Lobster or something.
Deep breath, Dylan. Deep breath.
And then I'd say if not that,
they both.
and then I'd say if depending on how well things go, you can't go wrong with like, hey, you want to come over and watch like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever? Because I mean, it is cheap, and we live in a society where it's hard to make money. So,
That's
but yeah, movies and dinner, I'd say, and then
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah, that's about it. And then maybe after dinner, you can like get dessert or get boba or something. I love boba, so if the girl I loved liked boba, I'd totally take her to like a boba place or something.
nice.
All right. I think we're going to go
Simple
to Michael
man.
because he seems to know. Michael,
Oh man, I don't know.
comparing your perfect date to...
I know it's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so different.
It starts at 5 a.m., Michael.
No.
You
My
can
perfect
look it
date-
up and just have Enrique.
My
go.
perfect date before I even see the person, it starts with me getting a good, nice, long night of sleep. So not 5 a.m.
Not 5 a.m.
But
4:30.
no, I said good, nice, long night of sleep.
4:59.
Mm-mm. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really care what we do. It would be kind of nice to do something. It would be kind of nice to do something like roller skating or something that's not so like played out like that.
Yeah.
And then like afterwards going and grabbing dinner and then like watching some good live music.
Ooh, okay.
Watching some good live music whenever we eat. And then yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean that's
Pretty easy to
That's
please.
about it. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Just give me your company and attention. I'll be fine.
Enrique.
Oh, my
Enrique.
turn. Dylan.
You got a minute. Go.
All right.
We're
So
dragging on.
I was thinking about it. We could probably start like kind of late in the evening. Yeah.
Not 5 a.m.?
Not 5 a.m. guys. Not 4:30 either.
Oh,
5:01.
No.
Hey.
And then so we go like to like a sushi place or something like that. Maybe like this banquet, shout out banquet, the 27th.
buy your tickets.
Buy your tickets, please. Your last day is on Friday. But anyways,
Oh, free promotion.
so we get sushi, right? And then I like the idea of going, actually, yeah, I like the idea of roller skating. And then maybe like at night we could go like to a hill since we don't got mountains here. And go like a hill and bring like a telescope and start like
Ooh.
stargazing. You know, have like a mini picnic there in the night. You know what I'm saying? With like, oh, with the string lights around the trees. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
I heard it from
That was
Will.
everybody, right? Everybody got to share?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Dylan. I didn't hear Dylan's.
No, his was.
No, his was like the
Oh,
state.
Mine was
Oh.
the long.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I forgot.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So then, I actually skipped over this one by mistake earlier, but it will go fine into this next one. Do you feel comfortable walking alone at night?
Yes.
Like, I mean, in general,
If
going
my
places, do you feel comfortable walking alone?
if how I got here wasn't obvious, I do not care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say.
I mean, I
for
guess it's
the
right.
most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Only one person.
Unless I was
yeah.
lost.
Only one person I'd want to walk in the dark with, but other than that, like, nah. What? I had a voice in my head, but yeah. Otherwise, I'd say by myself. I love the dark, so yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I
President?
thought I answered.
I
How'd
thought
you
he
say
did
yeah?
too.
I mean, I said it was alright.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, only one time I had to walk in the dark. I was kind of uneasy, but it was
feel-
alright.
I feel like the dark brings out like actual emotions in a person.
It relaxes me.
Yeah, that's my point.
Oh
like,
yeah.
If
Yeah.
I've had a stressful day, most of the time I'll tell my parents I'm going out. Don't call me, and I'll just like I'll go for like a mile run or something just in the dark at like almost midnight.
I like reading in the moonlight. That's nice.
Mhm.
Anyways, sorry.
So two more questions, kind of shifting gears, but kind of down that same line of thought. There it says. So the ninth question is: do you feel there is inequality between genders? Inequality. Do you think there's inequality between?
Inequality?
In what setting?
America.
Okay, well, because
So
so
what
if
settings are there or aren't there?
so, I'm just going to, without a lack of setting, I'm just going to think about natural traits.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to think about the natural trait of a man and a woman, and I believe that naturally men and women are born with two very different skill sets, but are very equal because they are both very important to one another. They both complement and make the other one viable, right? So I don't believe that the world run by men would last very long, but nor do I believe a world run by women would last very long. It takes a cooperation between the two because both bring different attributes to the table.
It's like men are 50% and women are 50%. Without one, you will never have a fully
Yeah.
operative system.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as far as like if we're talking about workplace and stuff like that goes, I'm not educated enough to speak on that. I'll just say that. I'm not.
Okay.
It-
Everyone else is quiet.
It really actually depends on the situation. Like workplace, like on income, definitely not inequality there. Men are known to get more pay, and I don't think that is right. Like, I forgot all I was gonna say.
So on the last podcast, I brought up the fact with different skill sets come higher pay, right?
Mhm.
So for instance, if a workplace needed someone that was bilingual, right, then it would be justifiable to hire to pay someone more because they were bilingual, right? Because you're like, hey, this is something that I need, and you have that additional skill, right, of being able to speak another language. So therefore, I can justify paying you more because you have that additional skill, right?
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
makes logical sense, right? If you can pay someone more for having more skill, just like maybe more education, you could pay them more, something like that. So could that same kind of mentality also apply to maybe a gender pay scale difference? Because earlier we did say that there was like differences between male and female.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be justifiable to be like, hey, a male in this situation, I can pay more versus a female in this situation because they have, quote unquote, like another skill set that the other gender doesn't have?
Well, I don't know. I find
And that's a question, not like
a statement.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I find that there could be arguments either way, but I personally would say not really, because while I do believe that there are natural advantages for one and the other, like, women have more complex thinking, or, okay, for example, I should say, women would have been said to have more complex thinking than men who being straightforward, but that doesn't mean that men can't come up with complex solutions to complex problems. I don't necessarily think that anything should be based and determined off of your gender. Now, if there are a much more majority of women who are able to solve complex problems with complex solutions than there are men, and their natural disposition helps them as such, then yes, I do believe that they should deserve more pay. But that is not strictly because of their natural ability, but that's just because in combination with the education that both received, they have shown a more natural aptitude to this skill. Yes?
Okay.
I mean, it's in the same way that, like, I don't know, it's in the same way that somebody who doesn't have a right arm may not make it very far in Major League Baseball, or they don't have a hand, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. I can't remember his name, but there was a famous pitcher who he would pitch and he would have his glove under his arm, so he would pitch and then immediately put his hand into his glove and be ready to field, right? So he obviously had a natural ineptitude to baseball or any sport, but he still was making it to the major leagues despite this difference. And he still, as far as I know, I'm not super well, obviously I can't remember his name.
Jim Mabbott.
Is that his name?
I just looked it up. I forgot already.
But
Jim Abbott.
something like that. But to my
Well, it's right
knowledge, okay, yeah. So to my knowledge, he still got paid the same, even though his natural tendencies were not leaning towards a professional baseball player, or natural tendencies, quote unquote, or his lack of tendons. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke.
I liked it.
Yeah, his natural circumstance, I should say.
All right. Anyone else care to comment?
So like the question was like, are men
Do you feel that there's inequality between genders?
inequality between genders? And
So not equal.
I guess, yeah. Like, because they were talking about working and about payments, right? Well, I don't even know. Because we do know that men like to take risk. And taking risk in life can get you to get more into more places and to get like more reward. Like taking a big risk can give you a bigger reward. Like money. Like you see those people working to change like the lights from up those towers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see like women up there. You see like men working.
Well, then again, how often are we looking to see what gender they are?
That's true.
They can
Yeah.
mostly be women.
I mean, albeit though, I think there are pretty good like statistics for like service type in construction being mostly men.
That is,
So
unless it's like, I hate myself for saying this, like a desk job, then I feel like that mostly gets put onto women. Also, like driving insurance, teenage boys,
well, that's true. They do give different rates for men and women for car
teenage
insurance.
men, or boys, I should say.
Teenage men.
Teenage
What?
man.
Like,
A 16-year-old
insurance
weird.
is totally run on statistics.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like,
So that
more-
is very well
But
earned.
still-
It's well earned
So
either way.
guys,
So
like, teenage guys have more wrecks.
Yeah, they
So
do.
statistically, insuring a teenage boy is going to cost the insurance company more than insuring a teenage girl.
yeah.
But
Statistically,
thank you.
Statistically.
Statistically, it's still not equal. And it's wrong.
I don't know. It's a very nuanced topic. That depending on where you look, go either way. I feel.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question, kind of related to this, is what does perfect gender does perfect gender equality look like? Or like, how would our world, like if tomorrow we woke up and there was perfect gender equality, how would tomorrow look different from today?
Equal driving insurance.
Equal or equalish pay.
I'd say,
The I can't say that.
there would be equal pay, but I feel like there would also be
More jobs.
equal responsibility placed on both, you know? And I'm not, and I think, I don't know, and I feel like this very much comes down to household, but I feel like overall, there is, what?
This camera is turned off like 45 times in this podcast.
I've seen him every time it goes back
Every
in.
time we get up, this camera is turned off. I don't
Are we
know.
often on that camera?
It's the
It's just me.
it's the Dylan and Silas,
Silas
camera.
shot.
Close up there. We're not on it right now.
Yeah.
You just dabbed in 2022.
Yeah.
Alright,
But-
sorry to interrupt that.
It turned off again.
What was I saying?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, I feel equal responsibility. I do. I don't know. Well, although if we're talking about the whole world, oh, that's a good point. I
Yeah,
didn't think about.
just keep it in America, like.
Oh, okay, because I was thinking like Middle East, and I was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a whole different
Yeah,
beast.
uh,
Okay,
And not that we don't want to talk about that, but it's just like a
that
whole
gets a
new-
whole.
Yeah, it's a whole
that's a
new
whole
Yeah.
can of
level
worms.
there, so-
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
All right.
Part 2.
7.
Anyone else?
Uh,
What difference would be our world be?
Also, forgot to mention in the last one, but I'd say not hiring someone based off gender, because I feel like, at least based on my experience, there's people that hire based off like if they're a guy or a girl. Because I remember like there was a job I worked at. I won't say which one, but they were like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to hire only women," and I kind of thought that wasn't right, because I mean, not saying it should be equal, but go for like who actually has the skills and best requirements rather than if they're a guy or a girl or anything like that. So I feel
Actually, I just thought of this, but there are some jobs, especially that deal with like little children, that they will hire women more because of like a psychological thing in like the baby. Like
I
a
agree
woman
with
is more like, I guess, approachable or likable by the baby. I don't know. That just popped into my
Like
head.
childcare.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
Male and female.
I just had a very detailed conversation with either myself or a best friend that's not even in this room right now, inside my own head. I think there would be so many more fights. Honestly. Because we would get in each other's way so much more.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. If everything was truly equal, and that means that everybody had the same responsibility and the same, and everybody was kind of
Actually,
like the same-ish,
We would start intercounting with our
then like yeah,
responsibility.
then like all of a sudden we don't really have a need for one another, and like we're different, and we've known ourselves as a human species to things that are, to people who are different than us, we kind of butt heads.
yeah.
That's interesting.
But now it'd just be like, oh, I don't need you. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. No,
I could
yeah.
honestly, if that sounds really weird that equality would bring division, but I totally see what you're saying.
For note, Mr. Siri has got up about 27 times, and this is
And
now
it's all
28,
for the camera.
just to turn on the camera that's looking at me and Silas, the two most least interesting people in the room.
Hey, while it's odd, we should dab at the same time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. Beautiful. All right. So that is the end of my questions. But as just like a final thought, what is something that you would like to share with the opposite gender? Either like
Boys rule, girls drool. I'm just
yes, that's what. Okay, and we'll just end on that.
Positive,
Cue the
Michael.
credits.
You know, is there something that you wish girls knew about guys, or like something that you'd like to tell
We are so.
girls? Something, yes. So everybody gets one shot here, and we'll
Wait,
go.
did I waste mine or do I get to
Yes.
go
No,
again?
You went.
That was a joke. I'm hoping.
Yes, it was a
We're gonna
joke.
assume it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Okay.
I got a couple.
You start
This
from over
camera's
there.
Working, so
One shot.
Dylan or Silas, you guys work. Go. Dylan or Silas.
Dylan, you
I
start.
guess I can go. gotta remember what I was gonna say.
Okay, go Silas.
I gotta remember what I was gonna say.
Oh my gosh! As soon as the camera's working,
All right,
I actually forgot.
Michael or Enrique?
you were gonna say something.
Go Enrique.
I
Mr.
don't know.
President.
Oh,
Basically means rock, paper, scissors.
I know, but I don't.
we have feelings too.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Oh, I
That's
think
good.
I remember. Yeah. Personality matters. I mean, looks are good, but think about the inside. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Dylan,
Yeah.
go. Michael, you up?
Sure, I guess.
Sorry.
Dylan, be ready.
We're pretty simple. I mean, yes, like the guys have nuance to it, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're pretty simple.
So stop overthinking.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Stop
So-
overcomplicating it.
yeah, I mean, that's something I've never really understood as like a guy. If you have a question about something or like you want to know or I don't know, like stuff like that, like just ask. It's not. I mean, I guess there are some things that are kind of weird. I guess depending on circumstance, but like for the most part, we're simple.
I have remembered
All right, you're on.
this whole thing I'm about to say. Some guys, like me, have a harder outer shell that's hard to penetrate and become friends with. But that's because most of us guys like me with the harder shell have been hurt physically and mentally so many times that we want to be more tougher just to stop ourselves from being hurt. So, like, I've had people look at me and go, oh, he's not going to be a nice guy. Like, he's awful. Look deeper into the book than just the first 2 pages. There is more chapters than just, like, the epilogue or the prologue.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to get you on the podcast more often.
Yeah.
Because the middle of the book
With
is
the ride.
really...
What?
With a ride.
With a ride, yes.
With a what?
With a ride.
We need
like-
to get you here,
Ah!
often, but with a ride.
I thought you guys said with Orion. I'm like, who is
Oh, yeah.
Orion?
With the
We'll
stars.
get you here with a ride.
With
But,
your
like,
constellation.
yeah,
I'm just
for-
kidding.
Most of us try to look deeper than the first few pages of a chapter. There's more than just one chapter in a book, and that's where men like me really find our sentimental values.
Awesome.
Well spoken.
Well spoken. We'll end there. That's a good place to end. So, thank you guys for coming and joining us. We have a few new faces, so we thank you
Yep,
guys for
we have-
coming and joining us.
Enrique and Dylan, and then we
Yes.
have
What?
this weekend. This weekend is Cafe Youth.
Yeah.
No.
This Saturday night is Cafe Youth for anybody who wasn't aware. So be there and don't be square.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be in Large Rock.
Large Rock. I thought it was Medium Rock this week.
No,
Oh,
it's Large Rock this week.
That's
Do you want to
unfortunate.
tell them what the theme is?
The theme, yeah, because it's a different. It's not
Wait.
like a theme thing. We have a
Theme?
slogan this time.
We have a slogan?
Yeah, it's
You were at the planning meeting.
Wait, I was?
Yeah.
it's. Wait,
We all were.
Taco Bell.
Never be-
Oh,
it could
today.
Taco
never
Bell.
be me.
Must have
Yeah.
Or
zoned
it
out.
would. It would never. It could never be me. Yes, it could never be me.
Oh, it could never be me.
Yeah.
So bring your popcorn and your gummy worms, because it's going to be fun.
Yep.
Maybe I'm pretty
And
excited.
it's
And I'm
never
not gonna be there.
you. No, I'm just kidding.
And we'll have tasty
This will be
snacks
you,
as well
because
and
Cafe
drinks.
Youth is you guys. You guys gotta be there. So we hope to see you there.
Wow.
Yeah, podcast in 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll have
Yeah.
some new recurring faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank